Lego Star Wars is an incredibly expensive hobby, but fortunately enough there are some cheaper sets that are good value for the money spent. I compiled a list of the 10 best sets that are currently available right now that cost less than $50. These are all good quality sets that are worth the money spent, and also just my personal favorites and recommendations for sets on a budget. Jumping right to it, I included the Mediscale Invisible Hand set. Now technically this is a set under $50 as it is officially marked as $49.99, and I felt like it is a very high quality set for the money spent. It looks really good on display and is a very fun build for older collectors to enjoy without spending a massive amount. And overall, I just think the Starship collection as a whole is a high quality line of Lego sets with really good value. Most Lego Star Wars fans do value sets with minifigures, however, higher than sets without, and would rather aim to buy something with a minifigure, and that is why I included this set lower than all the other sets on this list, as it is the most expensive set on the list and not necessarily appealing to every Lego Star Wars fan. The Boba Fett Starship Microfighter is the last $10 microfighter ever released, and the cheapest microfighter set currently available as well. Of course, I don't think that this set is better than the Invisible Hand, but for the $10 spent, you get a nice little microfighter of the Slave One and a high quality Boba Fett minifigure with arm printing, which is really nice. Lego could easily release this version of Boba Fett without arm printing, and it would honestly be fine for this set, as higher quality minifigures in smaller sets like this wasn't really the norm at the time. But instead we got this really good minifigure that will probably go up in value once the set retires at the end of this year. I also really like the Slave One microfighter build. It looks very cute as a mini Slave One displayed next to my 20th anniversary version, and I enjoy the set a lot compared to other microfighters previously released. A very recent set is the Imperial Dropship vs Rebel Scout Speeder, a part of the 25th anniversary wave. Initially, I did not like this set a lot, but recently I started to like it a lot more, and I think it is quite a good set for the $40 spent. You get 7 minifigures in this set, being 3 Rebel Fleet Troopers and 3 Stormtroopers, and then the exclusive QTKT, which isn't the most exciting anniversary minifigure, but fairly cool nonetheless. The builds are quite cool as well, especially the Rebel Scout Speeder, and I think it is just such a detailed and fun little build that children can have fun with and that adults can enjoy a part of a small Rebel display or Rebel base mock. The Imperial Dropship is also fairly decent, but I preferred the 20th anniversary one if I am completely honest. A few months ago, LEGO released the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack, and despite it being quite overlooked, I think it is a really good battle pack set. I love Clone Trooper battle packs, but seeing something other than a Clone Trooper battle pack for a change was really nice. And the minifigures included here are all quite good as well. I will always consider battle packs as very good sets on a budget, as you spend $20 for 4 good minifigures and a fun little side build, although most people care the most about only the minifigures. The 2 Mandalorians look really nice, both a male and a female version, and if these characters had arm printing, they would be perfect. But once again, it isn't really to be expected in a cheaper set like this. The Imperial Commando is to most the standout minifigures, and they do look really cool. The helmet just looks a little bit off to me. At the same time, we saw the Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon battle, a $40 set meant to be bought alongside the battle pack. I think this set is incredibly underrated, and some consider it quite overpriced as well, but I disagree, and I think it is worth that $40. You get 4 really good minifigures, notably Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon, who are quite sought after characters who will easily rise significantly in value once the set inevitably retires, and then 2 Praetorian Guards, although a third one to complete this scene would be ideal in this set. The small build included is just so cool to me as well, and I just love these types of sets with a more structure or building like build, compared to mostly vehicles or ships that we always see. And I would definitely recommend this set as a good budget set, and if you have $60 to spend, this and the battle pack together will give you a really good time. Jedi Bob Starfighter is another set I initially didn't like that much, but recently I've grown to like it a lot actually. $40 for a Jedi Starfighter of course is quite expensive, but unfortunately that is the reality today, and there isn't much we can do about it other than recognize these sets as actually fairly decent LEGO Star Wars sets. Jedi Bob Starfighter is an improved build and shape for the Jedi Starfighter, with some additional turrets and thrusters and all that. This set is however most notable for the Jedi Bob minifigure included, which is a character people have been begging to see again for a long time. We did see the Akbar Trooper as well, which isn't anything really exciting, as well as the blue Gonk droid, which isn't too exciting either, and an added astromech droid would fit well for the price you pay. For the Jedi Bob minifigure as well as the ship itself, I think it is well worth its price, and one of the best $40 purchases you can make right now. Recently we have seen the Captain Rex's Y-Wing microfighter, which has been quite a controversial set in the LEGO community. Personally, I love this set. I love the fact that LEGO created a cheap set and included a character fans have been hoping and begging to see in modern LEGO Star Wars for so long, and not only keeping him in a larger set most people won't be able to afford. Sure, they could have changed this figure a little bit, but exclusive or not, I don't think it has to be that deep. The Captain Rex's minifigure is really good, and a really high quality minifigure to include in a $13 microfighter. And the build is also one of the better microfighter builds out there. $13 for a microfighter is a bit more expensive than it used to be, but for this one, I think what you get is well worth that $13 price mark. Before reaching the top 3, if you enjoyed this video at all, consider subscribing, as it helps this channel so much. The latest 501st Battle Pack is probably one of my favorite battle packs ever made, despite the hate it often receives. For $20 you get 3 of the best Clone Trooper minifigures currently available, and one slightly worse one with a couple of flaws, but still a good minifigure overall. Additionally, the mini cannon included is in my opinion one of the best battle pack builds, and for some reason I just had so much fun building it and having it next to my workspace for a long while. I would recommend this set to any LEGO Star Wars fan who hasn't bought it yet, and would even encourage duplicate buys as these minifigures are just great for army building. My favorite is the 501st Specialist with the brand new macro binoculars headpiece that looks really good, and the 2 heavy troopers are incredibly good as well. The officer isn't that great, notably because of the printed waistcape, which isn't really something we want to see. And the marketing issues with the helmet holes is also worth mentioning, I guess. Despite it all, I think this is one of the best cheaper sets right now. Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter is a set that I always overlook, but recently it is at the top of my wishlist to get really soon. This was the final Jedi Starfighter at the $30 price mark, which I think is the best price for a Jedi Starfighter by far, and it is a really good overall design of the ship. We also see a Kaminoan minifigure for the first time in LEGO Star Wars, and it looks really good. And then both the Obi-Wan Kenobi minifigure and the R4P17 are good minifigures for this set as well. Jedi Starfighters and Interceptors are always my favorite sets, and as cheaper sets I consider them really good for the money spent, with a fair amount of good characters, and it is also good for building, displaying, and for kids to enjoy as well. This set was released back in 2022 and surprisingly isn't retiring this year it seems, so definitely enough time to pick it up somewhere in the future. In January of this year we saw the Clone Trooper and Battle Droid Battle Pack, which I think is definitely the best value for money right now. This is the second larger $30 battle pack, and although I really like the 501st one, this is definitely better value for money, including 9 minifigures. We get 1 Shock Trooper in this set and 3 standard Phase 2 Clone Troopers, and then we also see 3 brand new Super Battle Droids and 2 standard B1 Battle Droids, which is just insane to get all together in a cheap set like this. We also get a bunch of small builds included, such as speeders and a small shield turret, and then a larger Octopatara Tri-Droid, which is the best version of this build we have ever seen, in my opinion at least. I think this is an incredibly good set for $30 to build up a LEGO Clone Trooper and Battle Droid army, or just get some of these minifigures for the first time, as this is the only set with standard Phase 2 troopers and the second set with a Shock Trooper included. Hopefully we get to see many more of this style of sets in the future for army builders and just ordinary LEGO Star Wars fans to enjoy on a budget. Overall, those are what I consider the best sets under $50 and hopefully it encourages some of you on your next budget purchase. Other than that, I will see you on the next one. God bless you and cheers.